Hey, Sports and Entertainment Marketing. So here is the supply chain project. I'm going to talk you through it. So if you need to come back to this and look at it later, you can. So you are going to pick a project or a product that you're interested in from the list that I posted. I'm going to show you that. So you're going to pick a product that you're interested in from this list of products. And I picked these products because they all have videos, like 5-minute videos that explain how they're made from this Canadian show called How It's Made. So pick one of these, put your name by it, put a check mark by the thing once you've claimed it, and then you're going to do some research about it. So first thing you need to do is replace this picture with a picture of your product. Tell me the full name of that product so that if I wanted to look it up, I could search those words and see that product. And then you're going to list the materials that make up the product. So say you're doing like a basketball, there's the rubber, but there's also like the dyes that go into it. Maybe there's different kinds of rubbers. You're going to learn a lot more about all of that from that 5-minute video that you're going to watch. So you're going to explain how that product is made, either as a numbered list of steps that go into making that product, or you can write it all out as a paragraph. Then you are going to talk about the biological cycle versus the technical cycle. So the biological cycle is thinking about what parts of the product are going to break down naturally, otherwise known as biodegrading. And what is that process going to be like? Are there going to be toxic chemicals released? How long is it going to take for those components to break down? Google it if you need to. Then you're going to look at the technical cycle. So those are the parts, what are the parts that are not biodegradable, that are just going to sit in a landfill and rust or whatever? How can they be disposed of? And can they be broken down into parts that can be recycled? Now, some things like shoes have a lot of different parts in them. Like they may have some parts that are leather, which may biodegrade, but then there's other parts that are plastic or rubber, which are not going to biodegrade as much. So then you're going to pick one of the steps involved in making your product. Most of the products you're going to have a lot of parts to them. So pick one of those parts or pick one of those steps in the process and analyze that step using the five quality categories. What toxic chemicals are produced at this step? Can any of the materials be used to create new energy or used to create other products? How is the work at this stage being powered? So for example, like is it reusable energy being used, or is it fossil fuels or coal or hydropower? What's going on there? How is the production of the water or of the product impacting the water around it? Is there a lot of water being used to create this product? Is water that is being discarded full of toxic chemicals? What is going on? How is the relationship with the water there? And then how about social fairness? Are the workers that are at this step, are they being paid fairly? Are they working in safe conditions that are not full of harmful chemicals? How are their working conditions? And also, how is this impacting the community that the production is happening in? Is it creating a better environment for people to live in, or is it creating a lot of pollution? And the way that workers are being paid also factors into that, because if workers are not being paid enough, then chances are that the money and time that's being put into the work that they're doing is being kind of like siphoned off to the people higher up on the chain that are actually gaining the profits from that product. So once you look at, how is it being done right now, then I want you to turn around and think about how could it be done more sustainably? How could, how could we eliminate some of those toxic chemicals? How could we reutilize some of the parts of the process that are right now considered to be waste? Could we use some form of renewable energy to power this stage of the process? Can we if water is being used, could we use less water, or could we filter the water, filter the gunk out of the water, and maybe even use that gunk for some kind of other purpose, to protect the environment that that water is going back into? And can we pay the workers a fair wage? Can we make sure that they're getting safe conditions to work in? Can we make sure that the community that is hosting this part of the production is seeing benefits from being part of that production? Yeah, dream up a better world. This is a way to think about, like, how are we doing things now and how can we do them better? You guys are the future, so I want us to be thinking about all of this stuff. These are all things that we can choose to make better in our world. Okay? There you go. That's the project.